You don't know what you don't know. Insurance. So we bought a commercial building with 2 residentials up top. I thought I was covered. I thought everything was good. So what I found out is one corporation owns this building, and our property management corporation that actually inhabits the building, or whatever you want to call it, is using the space, is a different corporation. If I didn't have insurance, which I do, thank you, Michael, for my contents, if the tenant's upstairs, that's residential, if their toilet overfloods this weekend or whatever happens, there's a fire, my printer, my laptops, our screens, everything in here, I'm not covered, which I thought I was because, I own the building. But because of the technicalities of different corporations owning such and such, I need a specific insurance, tenant insurance, basically, to cover my contents. Now, that being said, there's different ways that we can do this, because if I put it in my lease that I'm not responsible and that the corporation that owns the building is responsible for the contents, that's kind of another, but it all depends on taxes, and I'm not going to get into taxes today. But insurance is important, guys, and thank you to our guy, Michael, for catching that, because I could come back to Monday on nothing and have to start over, computers and laptops and printers, and all that stuff isn't cheap.
Yeah, and insurance as well, so that's the scenario that happened with us. Another scenario is what happens with our tenants. So we've had situations throughout the years, of course, there's going to be some kind of insurance claim, and we wanted to help our tenants who lost a lot of their things through a flood. But we couldn't. Nothing's covered, and they didn't have their tenant insurance. So that's why it's so important as a landlord or investor, whether you do your own property management or you hire out someone, make sure on the lease that it's on there that they need to get their own insurance. Most importantly, even tell them verbally or do videos or anything, communicate with your tenants to make sure that they know that they are not covered, they need to get their own insurance. It is really not that expensive.
No, it's like $20 a month.
Yeah, so shop around, they can look around for prices, but it's so worth it, because we've seen a lot of scenarios which are just really unfortunate. So pass the word around and make sure your tenants have insurance.
Insurance is such a, you don't need it till you need it, right? And you don't know what you don't know. So guys, another scenario that we've kind of come up in the last couple of days, when someone works for us, I check WSIB and insurance. And you know why? Because if something happens and I call up my insurance people, they're going to say, well, are they WSIB and insured? And instead of just saying, yeah, they told me they were, I'm going to say, yep, I have it in my email, I'll send it to you. That is so important. Guys, this is your business. This is your assets. You can have these taken away from you if you're not, locked up. So check people's WSIB, check people's insurance, make sure it's valid, make sure it's current and up to date. Because if something happens, don't take someone's
word. Don't take their word for it. You need
your plumber's been your plumber for 20 years, but get the documentation. If something happens, and just give you a scenario, let's say you're in Toronto, Vancouver, whatever, and you own a property in North Bay. And you hired a property management company, and they say, okay, we're going to renovate your unit. Perfect. It's going to be X amount of dollars. Awesome. You would think that your company, your property management, the person you've hired, would make sure WSIB and insurance. I would not leave the onus on them. I would want, before any work happens, I would want you as an investor to say, hey, please make sure that I am provided with this, anyone that's going to be doing work on my building, WSIB insurance. And that way, if something happens, when your insurance company gets that call, you can say, I did my due diligence. Don't trust anyone else to do that kind of stuff, guys. The last thing you would want is, a lawsuit or something where you lose your asset or lose some sort of income.
Exactly. And if you're working with a property management company, they should actually be the ones saying, hey, guess what? Here's the proof. So that's the kind of people you want working. And we talk often about having a good team and the right people.
You can't see him right now, but Jim, our director of operations, is holding the camera.
He's in the background.
And Jim does our screening for us. Jim will, no one's working on our buildings till we have this verification. And Jim knows to do that with our buildings and any buildings that we manage. It blows my mind that other people aren't doing that. You're gonna get snagged up. You're gonna get jammed up at some point, and I just feel bad. If you put your trust in other people, you got to do your homework. You got to do your due diligence. Not everyone has a good director of operations like us. Hey, Jim? But yeah, so wrap it up. Insurance is important. These are things you need to know. Different things, inform yourself, call your insurance. Ask these questions before it's too late. Because when it's too late and you say, oh, I didn't know that. Sorry, that's not in your insurance clause. The I don't know clause isn't there.
Exactly. So due diligence, documentation, don't take anybody's words for it, and make sure you're covered.
Michael, shout out to you. You know who you are.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.